Okay, I think we're live now.
Yeah, I heard you just then, but it's very very broken.
Okay. See if anyone turns up.
Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a friend that's a bit of a IT wizard. I'm going to ask him if there's anything going on that's causing this, because I've got no issues at all with the actual internet speed from the look of it.
Right.
But it's just strange that both Discord and this is just it's so annoying. Everything's max, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're actually live now. There's no one here, so I'm not going to worry too much. I know we've got 2 people watching.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Okay, cool. Right, this is Save with Crypto here. I am here with the Imagine Project. Now, the Imagine Project is a guy I met over in the Stonksy Discord. He's a great trader, has some good strategies, and he's got some good, let's say, good sort of wisdom, about trading and stuff. He's very good at analysing what he's done, not over trading like I do, and all that kind of thing. So it's really good. The only problem is, I believe he lives in the middle of nowhere in Australia somewhere, where there's probably just crocodiles for neighbours. And the internet he uses is Starlink. But in his area, I believe there's lots of Starlink users, and for some reason, it's not working very well. So he might have a problem technically today, which is the fact that he can hear me, okay, but I'm not sure, and we can hear him, but I don't know if he can hear me. Did I get that right? Yeah. So he can hear what's going on the stream, I think. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we've got technical problems, but I believe it's down to his Starlink rather than me, which is going to be a real shame if we can't do it, because I know he had some good stuff to talk about regarding last weekend's price action. So let's try it. So the Imagine Project, can you hear me? That'll be no.
Yeah, so what I've actually, this is really strange, and I don't know why it works, but I've actually opened up your YouTube channel where I can hear you, but on the oh,
Yeah, okay. There's
yeah,
definitely
it's
some.
strange, eh?
Yeah, you've definitely got some problem there, because your voice broke up then. Which
is there any way of me being able to mute you on the StreamYard? But
I can just mute myself if you want to just talk. Yeah, I'm going to mute myself.
yeah, okay, so okay, yeah, that makes sense. So if you just keep okay, so I guess we're replacing Dave's slot. Oh, and now, wow. Okay, so this is hard because we're on a delay. So I'm hearing my voice in delay now. Oh, this is so out there. um, okay. Yeah, can you get back on, please, SWC? I'm going to see if I can sort something out here. I'll be right back.
Okay, well that was so that was the Imagine project. I think he was saying he was going to go and talk to his mate who knows something. I don't know, but anyway. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at BTC USD using ByBit as the data source. Now, normally I have that set on the index chart because I believe with Stonksy that gives the best sort of results. However, from last weekend's weird price action, I did notice that it did miss one of the 1 hour signals when it was on the index chart. So I found that it was working better with the ByBit chart, which is why I'm using the ByBit chart now. So this one's on the 1 minute. I think I might change that in a moment. This one's on the 3 minute. Okay. These lines you've got here, these exponential moving averages that I really like. So we've got 5 EMA, which is the red one. The cyan is a 9 EMA. The yellow is a 21 EMA, and the green is a 55 EMA. Okay. So what I'm generally looking for is these crosses of the green and yellow. Now that's just happened on the 1 minute here, which is a bullish sign, but 1 minute doesn't mean too much because it's it's too quick really. So if I change that, well, if I change this one here on the right, if I change that to the 1 hour time frame, it gives me a better idea of what's going on. So to me here, what happened was this morning at about 3 a.m. UTC, the price went bearish and we dropped down quite a lot, all the way down to whatever that is, 84.5k, and then we've recovered a bit since then, but these haven't crossed bullish again. So I'm hoping that will happen sometime today, but I'm not holding my breath, to be honest, because we've got this big sort of news event thing happening. Yeah, I just don't know what's going to happen really. I think the price is going to go up a lot and it's going to go down a lot. I'm just not sure which order it's going to happen in. Okay, so got some comments here. So Lee Scully, oh hi SWC, brilliant. Okay, I'm probably going to have Lee on next week. We're going to talk about something interesting as well, how to not get liquidated, which is always a good subject. Seedy Cherry Tree, brilliant. You're here, excellent. It's great. Must be really early in the States. Oh, no, it's about 9 a.m., isn't it? Well, it depends where you are, I suppose. Is that your music in the background? Yeah, it is actually. Something I made many years ago. The Imagine project, I might have an issue with a driver that didn't update. Okay, so let's just put the music down actually. Let's do that. Right. Okay. Let's go back to here. Right. So today I am hoping to have the Imagine project in. The Imagine project is a guy I met in the Stonksy Discord. He lives in Australia. I'm guessing he lives somewhere reasonably remote because he uses Starlink for his internet, and yeah, he's having a bit of a problem with Starlink actually. Just having a look. Crypto Luna says, hi SWC, on your video earlier you mentioned ByBit and Palau ID cannot still be used. Yeah, I believe that you can no longer use a Palau ID with ByBit, unfortunately. You can use a Palau ID with Phemex if you want to use Phemex, and if you want to use no ID, you can use quite a few exchanges actually, and I've put a handy list together for you, which I will show you. So if you go to savewithcrypto.org, okay, I'll put a little list here. Okay, so ByBit you can use in certain countries, and I really like it. Unfortunately, not the US, not the UK, etc. BitGet, you can, I believe, do KYC with a Palo ID, but you have to kind of make sure that you say you don't live in the UK. And even when you log in, if you don't use a VPN, it will say we've detected you're in the UK, confirm that you're not in the UK. And you don't actually need to use a VPN. You just say, I'm not in the UK. And that gives you access to the derivatives and all that. You can use it in the UK, but not the derivatives. So if you want to use derivatives, i.e. leverage, then you need to be in the UK there. Blofin you can use in most countries in the world with no ID. You don't need to prove who you are at all, but some countries you will need to use a VPN, such as the States and somewhere else. I can't remember now. I think somewhere weird like the Netherlands. If you want to use BitUnix, BitUnix is a nice exchange. I've been using it since New Year's Day, and I quite like it actually. You can use that in any country with no VPN, except China, North Korea, and Iran. If you want to use my Phemex link, you can do that with a Palo ID. This link here gets you a $8,800 bonus, well, up to. So that to me is the best options for exchanges. But yeah, I think you're right, unfortunately, that the Palo ID doesn't work anymore with ByBit. Anyway, so how are you doing? Imagine you getting there. Hello. I think he's still having problems. Damn it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I can't get on top of this. I've looked through everything. There's nothing wrong with my connections. I've got
Right.
more than enough download and upload. Yeah, there's something going on. It's really frustrating, and it's above my expertise currently. But what I might do is I'll stay involved in the chat, and I'll just keep trying to work on it. I do apologize. This is very frustrating.
Yeah, the weird thing is we can hear you very clearly. So anyway, the reason I got Imagine on was he wanted to talk about the potential manipulation that happened last weekend, and also what will probably happen this weekend as well, or at least even today, later on today. Let me just tell him that in the comments in case he can't hear me. Okay, let me just get him in the.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly. I can hear you on the YouTube, but not on StreamYard, which is the frustrating part.
Okay, well, I reckon the thing to do is I was interested to hear what you were going to say about the manipulation that happened last weekend, and also the probability of it happening today as well, maybe. So we can actually hear you pretty well. It's just that you can't hear me through StreamYard. So if you want to just take the mic for a few minutes and just talk about that sort of thing, that would be really cool. Maybe if also you could just tell us briefly who you are and how you got involved with crypto, that'd be quite cool as well.
Okay, I'll look at, where are we? Monday. Okay, I'm gonna put something. I'll see if I can actually share screen.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have a look at what happened. Okay, here we go. Cool.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll mute myself until you say so. Okay.
Okay, great. That works. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about a bit earlier, and what we were talking about in the lounge, in the Stonksy lounge, was about manipulation and how the markets get manipulated. So I guess when I talk to people and they ask me, is crypto manipulated? My answer is always yes, because it's a financial market, and every financial market is manipulated. It's crazy to think that it's not. And manipulation doesn't have to be insidious. Sometimes it's just the laws of supply and demand. Price goes up, price comes down. So whoever's driving either side will push the price higher or lower. And other times, of course, it is designed to cause maximum pain. So what I wanted to talk about was I guess I've been intensely trading with Stonksy since late September last year, and had a lot of success along with everyone else when Trump got elected. And I started really paying attention to different time zones and different trading sessions, and I spent a lot of time, and I was doing about 100 hours a week, charting and trading, and it was a lot. It was unsustainable, and eventually I wasn't able to keep up that pace, but I learned quite a few things. And something that I learned and observed, and it was a repeating pattern, was weekend trading. A lot of people believe that the weekend trades have no volatility, no volume. I've actually noticed that there is an incredible amount of manipulation and activity on the weekends. So I'm not sure if everyone realizes, but on Sunday, the Saudi Arabian market in Riyadh and the Dubai market is open as well. So they are actually open markets. Saturday is an interesting day. It doesn't actually shut, because on the Saturday, my time, the New York session goes right through till 5 a.m., which cuts into the Saturday, and then obviously all markets close, but crypto keeps going. So I think it's a bit of a fallacy that people think that the markets just slow down on weekends. And something I wanted to discuss, and it's always better when I've got someone to discuss it with, but I'm not sure if everyone's noticed, and please put it in the chat, that on Mondays, and consistently since probably about, I'd say April last year, Mondays can be extremely, extremely volatile, and often to the downside. And it seems to be a complacency that builds up over the weekend, and then the Monday hits. So I first started noticing it really heavily on, I believe, November, I think it was the 12th. So Trump got elected on the 5th of November, and the first time I noticed it, so this is the daily Bitcoin, where are we? So the 4th, 5th, and that was 11. No, that wasn't the one. So here it is here. Yeah. So this is on the daily. So the first time I noticed it was this day here, which was the 25th of November on that run up. And then I noticed consistently that we'd have these weekends where the price would just float up, and then we'd have Mondays where we'd get absolutely crushed. And I noticed a lot of people were just getting crushed on the Monday because there was a complacency leading in. So I started becoming very, very defensive on Mondays. Yeah, exactly. If I've gone back through the data and looked at the Mondays, all the big liquidation days in the last 4 months have been on Mondays. There was 1 week where we had a delayed Monday. I think it was just prior to the new year or just after the new year, where the Monday delayed to the Wednesday. And I believe we had on that day, on that delay, we had the biggest single day liquidation in crypto margin trading history. And I think that was, there was an amount. Can you remember what that news event was? There was something big. I think, yeah, that's right. It coincided with the Bank of Japan raising its interest rates. And I think it had something to do with a lot of activity in the Gaza war. So there was also another form of macro manipulation going on, is that the weekends were producing quite a lot of news about Gaza bombings, etc. And it had often hit the price action on the Monday. So the reason why I'm talking about Mondays is about a trading strategy that I've developed, which is about avoiding heavily volatile days. And I quite often, after Asian Open, which is 8 a.m. my time, or the new weekly candle open, I'll often give myself the morning to trade. So the first 4 hours at 8 a.m. till lunchtime, and I'll trade that move in that morning, and then I won't trade after that on the Monday, because when that volatility increases, I think it's just lucky dip, and I find it's almost gambling. So yeah, fine, I could just go short and would have made a lot of money doing that, but I decided to get defensive and go safe and just trade those mornings and then just get out of the way of the market. Something that I learned is the longer you're in the market, the longer your money is exposed to the market. So I think it's wise to get in and out. And so I didn't actually have anything prepared, but we had a very similar event on this weekend, and this is why I originally wanted to talk about it. So the Sunday, this weekend move was huge, right? And I'm pretty sure if you're in the chat there, but a lot of people got really bullish this weekend, right? On this weekend just gone. The social medias, the influencers, etc. If everyone remembers, we're getting pretty excited. So we had this run up, and sorry, I'll go down to the 8-hour chart. So if you're in the chat there and if you're watching this, just if you remember this weekend, all of a sudden influencers, social media were going extremely bullish, and the FOMO was kicking in. So this is that Friday dump. I think that was non-farm payrolls here. And then we had the pushback up and a dump. And then we had that Sunday that just went crazy. So that's when the news feed came through that the Americans had decided to go ahead with the crypto reserve and listed Bitcoin and I think 4 other altcoins that will go into the reserve. So this drove this incredible price action. So this was the Sunday. And from that Friday drop, that whole move was, let's call that a 22% move on Bitcoin. And as everyone knows, that's a huge move in any market. But I mean, Bitcoin, that's a huge move. This isn't a meme coin. So that got a lot of people excited. I was one of them, but I did take a long, and I made money on that long. but I got out. I didn't take the whole move. I got probably about half of the move, and then I got out of the way. But I know a lot of the altcoins started going pretty nuts. So if we look at the total 3 in that, if you see that, that's the total 3 chart. It went nuts, which means a lot of leverage came into the system. A lot of people went risk on, and all the influencers are saying that Bitcoin's, this is it. The next run, meme coins are going to go nuts, and everyone got trapped. And then the Monday came. And so this Monday has been happening for months. Right? It's been happening for months. It's at least 6 months, but in particular in the last 3 to 4 months, these Mondays have been brutal, absolutely brutal. And if anyone out there has been trading these Mondays and has been losing money, I recommend go do a trade review and look through all your biggest losing trades. And I can almost guarantee they've come on this Sunday complacency into Monday. And trading takes a lot of honesty because it's about keeping your losses small. That's the most important thing about trading, is mitigating your losses. And if you can do that, the wins will come. But I've done a lot of trade reviews, and my biggest losses were going long on a Monday. So I stopped going long on a Monday and I started taking shorts. But I'm just taking small moves. I'm using most of my margin, but taking small moves and taking small wins. So I guess the topic that I'm sort of trying to encapsulate is that when things are really volatile, reduce volatility. So when things get volatile and things are moving and there's big news events, I only trade Bitcoin and I only trade big caps, which is 1.5 billion, 2 billion plus. I am very careful with my stop loss, and I never try to catch the top or the bottom, depending on which direction I'm going. But I wait till the move is established, and I'll take a win. Right? I just take a win. I'm not worried about missing out on another 30 or 40% win. I just take the win, I close it down, and then I get out of the way of the market, because this is the most volatile period of every trading week, the Sunday transition into the Monday. And I've noticed a lot of people get liquidated and get absolutely wrecked on, yes, I use Stonksy all the time. I think I use Stonksy is what I use for entries, but my rotation is what I use for managing a trade, direction, etc. But yeah, for entries, I use Stonksy 12-minute, 6-minute, and 3-minute. And the 3-minute gives me very, very nice entries. So I guess what I'm trying to sort of encapsulate is everyone's got a different trading style, but the trading style that I have is when things are volatile, decrease the volatility, which is I don't trade low caps. Anything under $1 billion on volatile days is, in my mind, it's suicidal, right? You're just guessing, especially if you're not using a stop loss and you're using cross margin. It is just, yeah, it's crazy. So I go big caps, 1.5 billion and above. So basically, I don't go past the top 10 on volatile days, and I often use quite high leverage, but I'm in and out. So one of the things that people seem to think is using low leverage is safer. But what happens with low leverage is you actually have to get a bigger move to make profit. So if you're using, say, between 5 and 10x leverage on Bitcoin, just to beat the fees, you have to get a 0.08% move just to beat a 0.8% move in Bitcoin just to beat the fees on 5x leverage. 10x, I think you need like 0.6 move on Bitcoin just to beat the fees, right? So when I trade Bitcoin, I'll trade 35x up to 75x because all I need is a 1% move or a 1.5% move, and I've made heavy profits. It's actually a safer way to trade if you know how to use it. Whereas I noticed a lot of people are getting liquidated using low leverage, because if you're using low leverage, you actually need to catch a bigger move, right? And so that way you start going for the small caps, hoping to get a 5, 10, 12% move just to get things moving. So even though it sounds counterintuitive, I actually use higher leverage and higher margin on bigger caps on volatile days, but I'm in and I'm out, right? And I never get liquidated because I refuse to be liquidated. It's discipline. Will I be trading today? Yeah, I probably won't trade unless there's a very clear setup on New York Open. I've already did 4 trades early today in Asia session, and each one made healthy profit. So my Blofin account, which is sort of the smaller account that I'm going to be setting the bot up with, I think I made 23% on that overall this morning in the 4 trades. So I'm satisfied with that. I don't need to trade, but if something turns up in New York Open in about an hour's time and it's a very clear spot to go, I'll definitely take it. So it's because I'm on the charts anyway. If the spot turns up, I'll take it. But yeah, my favorite session is the Asian session. So say with crypto, feel free to jump in. But does it make sense have I explained how I like to reduce volatility from my end when the market's volatile? Especially, I think the Sunday, Monday is just danger. So, yeah, I hope that made sense. Yeah, feel free to jump back in.
Okay, this is me jumping back in. I'm aware we probably have a massive delay, so I'll speak slowly. But yes, that was the Imagine project. Wow, there's quite a lot to think about there. One thing I thought, which you said at the end, was about using low leverage, and I completely agree about that, because if you think about it, why are you using low leverage anyway? Well, you're using low leverage so that your liquidation point is miles away. And why do you need your liquidation point miles away? It's because you haven't got a stop loss. So what's the point of doing that? So yeah, you're totally right. Higher leverage and actually know where your stop loss is. I must admit, what I tend to do, I tend to go into a trade with a lower leverage, and then when it starts to go, you know, if I can see in the first half hour or an hour that I was right about my idea, I will then increase the leverage, which will then decrease the amount of margin I'm using. So at that point, I will look at adding a bit more in, but maybe I should take a leaf out of your book, Imagine, and you know, just be a bit more ballsy, be a bit more sure about what I'm doing, and be ready to cut off if that's the case. Yeah, I must admit, one thing you mentioned earlier on when we were talking in the Stonksy Discord was you were talking about doing a trading review after you've finished every trade, as a way to sort of like look back and think, okay, what went good, what went bad, why did I win, why did I lose, that kind of thing. And I think that is a really good thing to do, because now I'm thinking, okay, I've done some really bad trades in my time, done some good ones as well, but I haven't a clue looking back exactly when they were. And the more I think about it, I think you're right, they probably were Mondays. And the temptation with a Monday is well, for me, I'm always looking at where the CME closed on the Friday, then thinking that the price might go back to there on the Monday. Now, sometimes that works out. Like last weekend, it worked out absolutely beautifully for me. And we had that like $9,000 CME gap, and sure enough, it got filled on the Monday. So that was cool. although I must admit, a lot of people who saw that pump might have longed the top and then got liquidated on the way down. So I think you're very, very correct about what you were saying about Mondays. What you were also saying about trading things with a market cap of less than $1 billion being suicidal, yeah, I'd agree. The only thing I consistently win, when I say consistently, I mean win more than I lose, is Bitcoin. Everything else I ever try, I always screw it up because I'm just not used to the way it moves. I've tried doing some Solana trades recently, and when it was over $300, I was thinking, okay, there's no way that's going to go down to less than 250. I have no idea why I thought that, and of course it went down much more than I could imagine. So I had something like a 3x leverage trade open. It was only a small one, but that got liquidated. That was ridiculous. So myself, I am only really trading Bitcoin or sometimes Ethereum. That's about it, really. So yeah, I'm sticking to the large caps myself. So what else were you saying? Yes, the trading review, I really like that. So yeah, watching out for Mondays and not going long on Monday. I think that is superb advice. In fact, thinking about it, I made the second best win this week by going short on Monday. So that's really cool. Right. Totally enjoyed that. Let's just have a quick look at the comments. Okay. So, okay. There's Lee Scully saying you need to use Kanashi candles. I've looked at them. I don't like them. I know it's what Crypto Face uses, isn't it? Kanashi ones are the one where you can see the trend. I don't know. I think everyone's got their own favorite things, and yeah, I tend to use whatever I've got. Using Silico Terminal. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'll have a look. I know in Silico, that's the people who do the whole suite indicator, which I do like. So that might be something I need to look at. Journaling trades is a must. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. I know Dave does it on the Stonksy show, so I might do that as well. Anyone use Market Cipher? I haven't. I will ask the Imagine project about that in a moment, but I haven't myself. Does it work, or is he just a skilled trader? I think when I hand the mic back, I think I'm going to ask the Imagine project to maybe just give us a little bit of background about what he's into and how he got into crypto, and are you a skilled trader, or have you just found your own way and you're doing all right, or whatever. I think everyone's got an interesting take on things. KB saying, "Lol, stay away from that rubbish." I assume you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about Market Cipher. I believe Market Cipher isn't that special, and I believe there's a free version of it as well. So I don't know. CD Cherry Tree, what do you use for your stop loss when you trade on high leverage? Do you use a percentage as your guide? Okay, well, we'll ask that to the Imagine project. So stop loss, we'll ask about that in a moment. Okay. So at the moment, well, at the moment, what I do is if I start off on low leverage, I've normally got my stop loss, set where a bit lower than what I think everyone else would have their stop loss, and then when I'm in profit, I normally got my stop loss in profit. But I guess the Imagine project will have more to say about that. In fact, here he is now. He says, "I find that what candles or indicators, or what indicators you use doesn't matter. What's important is that you stick with them and really understand how they work." I actually totally agree with that. And also, I think, with indicators and things generally, I mean, I really like those EMAs that I use, the 5, 9, 21, and 55 EMAs. I love those, and I kind of look at them and I can see things within it, now. But I know other people who use different EMAs, or they use different indicators, and it's quite weird when people have this similar ideas, although they've got to the that point by using different techniques. So it's whatever works for you, really. Lee Scully is saying, if you look at the 6-hour candle on BTC, red or green, that will give you the direction for the next 6 hours on BitMEX. Then look at the 1-hour candles. Yeah. Again, you know, you found something there that gives you a good idea. That's really cool. So the Imagine project, no indicators, price action is all you need. It depends. Yeah, I thought you were talking about market cipher. That's cool. Shiba Inu. I've got nothing to say about that. I'm not sure if Imagine has. We can ask him. I think I know what he'll say. I agree, KB. That's correct. If you know how to, right. Most people don't understand price action. I must say, I'm really impressed with the level of comments and stuff here. It's really cool. Actually, I thought there'd be no one here, and we've got 9 watching. So please do like the stream. Okay, so that's cool. Right. Okay, so let's hand the mic back to the Imagine project for a moment. It'd be really cool, actually, if you could just tell us a little bit about your background. You know, have you got like a Forex background or traditional trading background, or are you just a crypto dude who found your own way, that kind of thing? And following on from that, if you can tell us about how you set your
so yeah, I'll just I'll jump in. I've muted the YouTube live stream. So I started trading with a friend in late 2007, early 2008, and the reason why that happened is my friend and I were online poker players, and we played on Full Tilt and then PokerStars, and you know, we had good success actually. We taught each other a lot, and we supported each other. So the Australia banned online poker. We couldn't play for money anymore, which was disappointing. So being degenerate sort of people, we decided to get into Forex, which is trading currency. And if anyone was around in 2008, that was the global financial crisis. So I started trading with no idea what I was doing in the most volatile period in my life so far. So we actually had a few wins to start with. We were trading AUD USD, so Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and I'll just see if I can find a chart from back then. But the Australian dollar really went nuts against the US dollar. So we made a bit of money, and we both decided that we're really good traders because we made money, which was a mistake. The money that we made was given back and then some. And it took me a while to realize that I was not just a bad trader, I was a terrible trader. And I took some time out from it because I fell into the trap of just believing that it was rigged, and you couldn't beat the market, and there was no point. So I took a lot of time away from it. But as you can see here, that was the bottom of the GSC. So we made a bit of money up here. We lost a lot of money here. We made a little money here, and then we just lost. Well, I lost a lot of money. I got despondent, went away, and went back to work. So I've been involved in restaurants and whatnot. So I went back to restaurants, running, managing them, whatnot. And then I got disillusioned with that. And yeah, I missed the action. I really enjoyed the action of using your intellect to look at a chart and make money from it. It was really interesting endeavor. So I started hearing about Bitcoin, and I had another friend that was right into it. I think it must have been about, what was that first run? It must have been the one before the 2017 run. So we started having a bit of a play around back then. Oh, hey, this is an interesting one. This is purely by accident. This is the Bitcoin 6-month chart on ByBit. This is a pretty good zoom out. And if anyone looks at this chart and can't see that it's going up, there's something wrong. So go back to, I'm just trying to remember. I think what was the run before 2017? So that must have been 2013, 2014. Where was the price back there? So the point being, after realizing that I was a terrible trader, I realized I had to learn a lot of things. And so I went into study. So I started studying economics. And it was early on in the days of Michael Saylor had actually released a online university, which is incredible. And one of the subjects was economics. And I started studying economics. I needed to understand money because prior to that, money was just something I gambled with. I'd make it, I'd party, I'd lose it, I'd party, I'd make it, I'd party even more, or I'd just go spend it. I bought fancy sports cars and all that rubbish. And I realized I didn't understand money. So when I started studying money, I realized that it's easy to lose and really hard to make. And I just started the process of educating myself. And a lot of that education just came down to making a lot of mistakes. In fact, I became really good at being a bad trader because I would have so much conviction in my technical analysis, and I'd be sure, like as you were saying before, that you were saying Solana, it's not going below 250 and that. So it'd be stuck in my head that it wasn't going to go below that level. I had no idea why I would think these things or above. It was just an idea. And once those ideas pop into your head, I think for a lot of people, it's a strange feeling. You just, for some reason, you think it's going to happen that way. And more often than not, it doesn't. So I started just watching charts for thousands and thousands of hours. Quite often not trading, just watching charts. And who was it before? KB was talking about price action. I learned a lot about price action, how it moves, what moves it. I learned about, the dynamic law of supply and demand. So if anyone doesn't understand the basic concept of supply and demand, when there's a lot of supply, this is the same in any market, and there's no demand, the price of that thing goes down. When supply falls and demand increases, or if supply stays stable and demand increases, the price of that item goes up. And that's the basic cornerstone of all markets and all trading. So a lot of my education came down to, well, where are the supply zones and where are the demand zones? And this is where I'd love to have you to talk with, say with crypto, because then we could discuss where the supply zones are and where the demand zones are within price action. And I completely agree with KB. Price action is incredible. Like you can turn off the candles, right? And just use price action, line chart. And if you know how to read price action, you'll make money, depending on what time frame you use. Completely agree there. But most people use candles. Candles are an indicator. Going through the basics of candles, and I'm not trying to be condescending, but does everyone know how a candle works, how it forms, how the body works, how the wicks work, and how the action works in between, and how the different time frames work? So this is a monthly candle here, monthly chart, sorry. And here we have the weekly chart, right? So basically, as you zoom, as people say, zoom in and zoom out. Zooming out is higher time frames, right? So you're looking at the whole entity of something, the whole organism. Just say the human body, right? So you zoom out to the major time frames, right? And let's go back to the 6 months here, right? This is like looking at the whole body on something, right? So if, as traders, if we consider ourselves to be surgeons, right, we need to look deeper into how the whole organism, how the whole body works, right? So that's when we start going through the time frames. So let's go down to 1 month, right? Okay, so we get a better idea of how the body starts to work, and then we'll come down to, let's just jump straight to the daily. And we're looking under the bonnet a bit more. And now we're starting to see organs and different little pieces within the body. And then we'll come right down to, say, the 3 minute. And now what we're looking at is hair follicles, the DNA, all the little things. So all of this price action here and all these movements are within the monthly. So price action, it's incredibly important to learn how it works. I completely agree with KB. My friend's just ducked in to have a look to see if I've got any settings I can change. So if you take back over, say with crypto, I'll be right back.
Okay, well this is great. I'm really enjoying having the Imagine project.
I don't know what's going on, but
and yeah, I hope you can sort out his connection. It's weird though, isn't it? Because it actually sounds okay coming this way, but I think he's having a problem monitoring what's going on. Anyway, I put a very important poll there, so please do look at that. If I did, I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on till 2:30 actually, i.e. the New York Open. If you want me to, let me know in the comments. And we can discuss that. I'm going to take back my screen actually, so that's okay. So we're back on my screen now. So what can we see here? Okay. Oh, see the cherry tree was off. Okay, thanks, mate. Right, see you soon. Thanks very much for your continued support. He's great. He kind of comments on all my videos, even if it's just like hello or something, which is great because if you do that, it's really good for like the algorithm. And, you know, the more subscribers I get, the more we get the word out and the more we can grow as a community. And, you know, eventually the more collaborations we can get together. And it's going to be just great, isn't it? It's going to be amazing. And as a lot of people point out, that I haven't got a particular agenda really. I'd obviously like it if you used my affiliate links for the exchanges, and I'd obviously like it if you subscribed. I'd obviously like it if you shared the videos and told your friends about it and all that. But other than that, I just want to grow the channel. That's my main aim. So thank you for everyone who has supported me doing that. Really cool. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So let's go back to the chart. Oh, okay. So what's been happening the last few days, in fact, almost every day as far as I can remember in the last couple of weeks, is that New York Open, which is going to be in 40 minutes time. At New York Open, we've had a dump. So do be prepared for that. But the thing is, obviously today is not a normal day because we got this kind of I don't know what it's called. What's it called? The crypto whatever thing in the States. That's happening. I was meaning to ask Imagine what he thinks that's going to be all about, but I don't know. I can see everyone getting very excited about it, and then Trump or someone dropping some bombshell. Obviously people like Michael Saylor are going to be sort of very bullish for everything, and he'll just tell everyone to buy Bitcoin and never sell it. Oh, James is saying my screen is blank. Hang on, let me just check that. Okay, it says sharing this. Is it blank for everyone? Let me just get it on my phone. It's probably the best way, isn't it? So, oh yeah, it is blank. Why is it blank? Hang on a sec. StreamYard. Oh, it's because. Right, let's removed it. So add that to the stage. Okay. Why is that blank? Hang on a sec. God, why is that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go present. Oh, hang on. If I stop Imagine, if I go present, share screen, then I'll do that. Right, okay, that's good. And if I do that, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Right, okay. So I can. Good. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. Oh, well done, James. Yeah, try moving tip. Yeah, that's exactly what did work. What I'm going to do now is just have my phone monitoring what's going on. Cool, excellent. Right, so oh, you're right there. Anyway, so yeah, what I was saying was what's been happening the last few days, as far as I can remember. Oh, thanks for all the hearts, whoever that is. Keep doing that. Keep liking the stream. Excellent. Yeah. Well done. Anyway, so what's been happening the last few days, as far as I can remember, is at New York Open we've dumped in that first half hour. So hopefully we won't today, but today's a different day. I can see these EMAs, the 21 and 55 EMAs, getting closer and closer on the 1 hour time frame. So I don't know. Could today be different? Just going to say, Imagine Project. Do you want to try it again?
Yeah, I think I've had success.
Oh, where?
Yeah, my friend came in and he switched me to his network.
Okay.
And got rid of some of the. Yeah, it was just really, really heavy buffering.
Right. Okay.
So it looks like things are back on the up and up, which is exciting. Yay me! I'm going to have a sip of Three Angels Irish whiskey to celebrate.
Oh, nice one! Nice one.
Yay!
I'd join you, but it's a bit early. Actually, I've not had a drink, not had a proper drink for over 5 months now. It's incredible. It's my longest I've ever gone in my life without being drunk. So Yeah, it has helped my trading actually. Cause I used to drink and trade, and that's like a really terrible thing to do.
I did a trade review. I think it was about 2 months ago, and I lost about $5,000 in one day.
Yeah.
And I did a review, and I realized that I'd been spending time with a friend during the day, and between us we'd drunk a lot. And then I came home, and I thought, and at that point I was in that heavy trading period with the election and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I managed to do some really bad trades, and my trade review revealed that trading drunk is a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. It's good fun at the time, but I mean, thinking about it, I suppose if you're allowed to drive drunk, it would actually be like it would make driving more fun, but obviously incredibly dangerous. Because in fact, my daughter was doing a driving test last. Well, she's been doing it for a while now, but she's passed now. But one of the questions in the theory thing was it was a multiple choice thing, and it said drinking alcohol whilst driving, and then it's had multiple things, and one of the answers was gives the driver extra confidence, right? And then the other answers were like, I don't know, they were just other answers, but that was the actual correct answer, was that
No.
drinking alcohol whilst driving gives the driver extra confidence, and that was the right answer. But of course, it's the wrong thing to do, because having extra confidence when you're driving isn't particularly a good thing, because you think you're invincible. And yeah. Anyway, well, that's really cool. You can anyway, that's really cool. Okay, so right before the whiskey kicks in, what are you seeing? What are you seeing in the charts at the moment? 'Cause just getting a big dumpy candle. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Do you want to have yours?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Okay, I got to. Sorry, just hold the fort for a second. My computer hooks back into the old connection, so I'm going to have to change the connection. I'll be right back.
Okay, right. Let's have a look through these. Thingies. Okay, right. So just checking what we can see. Okay, so that's my chart on the screen. Okay, that's all right. So that's cool. Imagine Project, does he have a YouTube channel? I don't know, actually. We'll ask him. So let's write that down as a question. I read a DIY manual on candlesticks a few years ago. It was quite comprehensive. Most importantly, was free. Yeah, if you go to Investopedia, I think it's investopedia.com. I learn loads from there. I mean, it's not strictly crypto, but it's, if you learn about, marketing generally and trading and stuff, it's like, it's cool. So yeah, so learn about candlesticks. That's a cool thing to do. Well done. Great info. Yeah, I think the Imagine project is doing well. Lee Scully, I'm on the way to the pub in half an hour. Have a beer for me. Cool.
Yeah, don't trade at the pub.
Anyway, do you want to show your screen and talk about what's happening at the moment? Because I think we're about 30 minutes from New York Open, so I don't know how long you could stop on, but I suppose it might make sense to be on for New York Open. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm enjoying. Well, I mean, I've got my setup working now, so it'd be a shame just to tap out.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Do you want to?
So yeah, I'd love to stay on board. So
okay, I'll add your.
I'll just see what I've got on the screen at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're good to go. Okay.
Okay, so which one is this one? Okay, so the 6 minute. Yeah, so we had a bit of action just then. So the first thing I always look for is I always look at in this scenario is the economic calendar, which is your fundamentals. There's always, because I know people that solely do technical analysis don't believe in fundamentals, and people that believe in fundamentals think technical analysis is witchcraft, which I think is crazy because the more tools I've got in the toolkit, I believe the greater ability I have to do. I'm able to do critical thinking with and making sound judgments from there. So I'm going to look at the economic calendar and see if anything just happened. And more than likely something did just happen. But we did get a pretty fast dip just then. What was that? That was 89,819, 88. Over $1,000 dip just then, which is interesting. And we had, what did we have? Okay, so we just had the Canadian unemployment rate come out and the American unemployment rate come out, which are major economic data. So the unemployment rate for the US went up by 1 percentage point, 0.1, and the Canadian went down by 0.1. So in a vacuum, the data isn't, the numbers aren't important, it's how the market reacts, which is important. So you'll see this price action that came in on that data was priced in. So the market was expecting bad news. It dumped. The news was pretty flat, so the market recovered. So this is manipulation, clear as day. The market pushed up coming into that news event, and then sold off on the news event, and is now stabilizing back to the upside. So this is where people get liquidated. It's straightforward, and sometimes it's not nefarious, and sometimes it's not intentional. It's just this is what markets do around news events, and that's why I always have my economic calendar open. I'll just quickly slide that onto your screen, and as you can see there, there's your data. So that's just the market reacting, and it's always manipulation. It's never not manipulation.
Yeah, cool. Brilliant. Lee was asking, have you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
I do. Yeah. Lee, are you in the Stonksy Discord? If you're not, you used to be from, because I do recognize that name.
Yeah, me too. I think he's got.
Yeah, I do. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. KB saying, yeah, so KB, all I was doing was switching screens, so probably a little bit of lag. So you're not in the Stonksy Discord? Well, maybe you should be.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for that shameless plug. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you, Lee, but one of the greatest things about any this server in particular is I'm telling you straight up. I've spoken to the whole team. I've been using Stonksy as a punter since October 7th, I believe. And these guys are not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. The programmer behind Stonksy and the same person that built the bot, I've spoken to him multiple times, and he has got no interest in doing the wrong thing, and that's rare. That's so rare in crypto. in finance, full stop. And the main reason I've come on board to be a part of this team is that I do believe that these people are genuine, and that's why I'm on board. So give it a try, and you'll see for yourself. But I do have a YouTube channel. I'll see if I can drop the link in. For it.
If you can't, if you do it in the private thing for me, I think I can post it. I'm not sure if.
I'll give it a shot if they'll let me put it into chat.
Yeah, try it. I know I've tried to do things like that when I've been on with Dave, and if he's been the main, like the main presenter, I don't think it's let me do that.
So would I send it to private chat? Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
I'll do in the private chat, and then I can.
Yep.
I can. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So if I copy that, and then if I put that in the comments, that should work. Okay, did that work? There you go. Cool.
Yeah. So
okay.
My YouTube channel is new, so I'm new to streaming and talking to people online, and along with Crypto Coffee Club, who I connected with early. We both started our channels because we believe in this team. So I know it sounds like a shameless plug, but I can't be more genuine. I'm not guaranteeing that you'll be successful and make millions of dollars, but I'll guarantee you'll be part of a team that genuinely wants you to. So, and what's your experience, say, with crypto? How did you come on board with Stonksy and Crypto Saving Expert?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've actually been a fan of Jordan, that Martini guy, for a long time. I know some people, even people in my Telegram group, don't like him and think he's a pump and dump sort of guy. I don't think that. I've actually really liked him, and I've liked him for a long time, really. And so when he first started, started talking about the idea of his own indicator, I became quite interested. And when it finally came out last summer, there was quite a few people on my channel
just to sort of, I think you may have skipped a step. Was that through an involvement with Crypto Saving Expert?
No, not initially. No, because I wasn't a member of that. It was literally just I was looking about on YouTube like 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw this guy with an accent from the north of England, and I thought I like him, and I kind of resonate with him, and I thought he was a good guy, and so I was into him, and then when I heard he was doing his own indicator, I thought, okay, I'll see what that's all about. So last September, I think it was, or maybe before, I can't remember. But whenever Stonksy came out, I was just about to buy it, and then I thought, actually, I'll see if I can get a discount. So I kind of emailed the Stonksy support and said, I've got a YouTube channel. I think Jordan likes me because he'd spoke about me before, and he'd mentioned my channel before. So I said, I think he likes my channel. So just gonna ask if I can have a bit of a discount if I talk about it on my channel. And I think I spoke to the other. No, who did I speak? I think I spoke to the other Jordan, big Jordan, I think they call him.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I asked TMG, and he said, yeah, that's fine. You can have a discount, but talk about it on your stream, and use it live. Use it live on your trades." So I started using it, and then Dave got in touch with me and said, "Can we have a little meeting?" And they said, we want you to do some content for the YouTube channel. Do you want to do that? And I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to do that. And they wanted to pay me, but I said, I'm just happy to do it for for like membership of Stonksy and maybe CSE plus, so that's what I did. So I'm kind of involved that way, which is why I like to do the live streams as well with Dave on Wednesdays. That's really cool. So So my involvement with the actual indicator itself, I am. It changes from time to time, but at the moment I am mainly a fan of looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, and I think I'm probably underutilizing it because I think I should be looking at smaller time frames and doing smaller scalp trades. But at the moment, I'm using my EMAs to get an idea of the way the price is going, and then if Stonksy is confirming it on the 1 hour time frame, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, that's definitely good. So, for example, at the moment, it's not in a trade, and I'm not sure either. So at the moment, I'm not. Well, I'm actually in a small long trade, but nothing major. However, I would love to hear the way you use Stonksy. If you want to share your screen and talk about that, that'd be amazing.
Well, I made so Crypto Copy Club, who's similar story to you and I. He started using Stonksy, and he turned $1,000 into $10,000, and I think in 7 days, and that made him start a YouTube channel. And he did some really good YouTube episodes early on in the piece, and so we did a live trading session together one day, and using Stonksy, I like in my trading style, I never go for the bottom or the top, but on live on stream, I'll see if I can find that particular one, but I actually caught the absolute bottom of that move in XRP using the 1 minute as an entry.
Wow.
And from memory, made 600 USDT in 9 minutes, just using the 1 minute for entry and exit live on stream. And it was also using my trading strategy, which is the quad rotation order blocks price levels as well. So there's a lot more than just Stonksy. You bring all the tools with you. You don't throw all the tools out. But where Stonksy became incredible was for timing entries. So that was an incredible trade, and I never thought I'd repeat that. But the very following day, I did a trade on Virtual, which I don't know if everyone remembers, but Virtual was the thing that I was trading along with Algorand during the run up. So I basically turned $135 into $32,000 in, I think it was about 7 weeks, something like that. But I nailed this trade on Virtual, which caught the exact bottom of that swing low, the exact bottom, and let it ride. And in the morning, woke up with $3,200 profit, and I believe that was a 360% ROI on that trade. So on that particular run up during that insane bull market, just made some incredible trades. And to be completely candid, what I found during that period is that Stonksy was absolutely incredible in those market conditions, but absolutely incredible. But Stonksy wasn't as accurate during a ranging market, and so that's what I was thinking. But what I realized is that the attitude towards trading had to change, and it wasn't Stonksy that changed. It was the fact that I didn't adjust.
Right.
So I use Stonksy differently now. I still use it for entry, but I wait for multiple confirmations. So, for example, I will switch to my execution setup, which is 3 different time frames. So I use the 12-minute. and the 3 minute, and the 1 minute. So this is all Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So what's that? 12, 3, and 1. Yeah.
So in conjunction with Stonksy, see this indicator down the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the issue with taking that extra data. It actually messes with the stream quality from my end. So this is my entry setup. So on the left is the 12-minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute. And so where I take my entries is this indicator down the bottom is my quad rotation indicator. So this indicator was actually designed around my system. So when they're all at bottom of range and working the way to the top of the range, so for example, here on the 1 minute, you see that bottom range, sell off. There's confluence here with the 3 minute, sell off, bottom of range, sell off, bottom of range, and also the 12 minutes started to roll over, but it stayed above the 50. So these are four different stochastics put together in one indicator. So this indicator is actually designed of my system. And I use this together with Stonksy. And as you can see here, the 12 minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute all working together. So this would have been a trade I would have taken to the upside. Yeah.
So,
sorry?
So how do people get? Is that an indicator that's available publicly, or is that, or would you keep that for yourself?
No, it's fully available. I'll share it with you. It's so my indicator. I'll just open it up. So this indicator is called. You see it down there?
Hang on.
It's called. It's so you'll see down the bottom there. It says quad rotation, 4 stochastics overlay with ABCD detection super signals. So if you go into indicators in TradingView, and type it in, it's right there.
Fantastic.
And it's free. So it's an incredible. See that one there?
Yeah.
So they've open sourced it and it's free to use. So one of the things about this particular system, the quad rotation, is that on the 4 hour, it's actually 97% accurate on Bitcoin.
Wow.
97% is pretty good.
Wow, that's amazing.
I
just noticed that I just noticed that Lee Scully has subscribed to your YouTube channel, which is brilliant. And so, can everyone else just go over to not now, but when we're finished, go over to the Imagine Project's YouTube channel and subscribe there, and subscribe here as well if you're not.
Absolutely. So you'll see here, even in this little small sample size here, the rotation. So this is your stochastic range. So up the top, that's your high range, and down the bottom, that's your low range. So if everyone just has a quick look at the screen now, you'll see that the price action and the rotation and the indicator is like accurate. So I often use the 4 hour as an entry confirmation by using the lower time frames. So the lower time frames that I showed earlier gives me the entry, and the 4 hour gives me the momentum. But the caveat is on this is never go against the daily, right? Or if you do go against the daily, be cautious. So if the daily and the 4 hour are going in different directions, be very, very defensive. But if the 4 hour and the daily are both doing the same, just say this is the daily and the 4 hour are both down the bottom, I go hard, right?
Right.
High margin, high leverage, and I just go for it. Obviously, the other thing that's really interesting is people. Okay, so just asking the chat out there, does everyone know how to set a stop loss and why and where you set a stop loss? So okay, so say with crypto, how do you choose where your stop loss is?
Yeah. I must admit, I just look at past lows. If I'm going long, for example, I'll look at past lows, and I'll think, I don't know, it's not very clever, really. I just think, will the price go back to there? And I go slightly below. What I try and do though is I try and go lower than what everyone else will do. I try and not do any obvious ones, and then I'm not very good with stop losses, because as soon as I'm in profit, I will push it up to break even or even push it into profit, and because of that, far too many of my trades close too early, because the price comes back to this and closes the trade. So I would love some more wisdom about how you set stop losses.
Yeah, I mean it's very similar to what you just said. Just answering Lee Scully's question about multiple screens. So yeah, it's with TradingView Premium. So with TradingView Premium, as you can see here, I can run up to 16 screens, but there's no point running 16 screens because I'm only trading Bitcoin. When I was trading the run up from November the 5th, I was running with 8 screens on 2 different tabs. So running 16, I was watching the charts on 16 different cryptos. So when I started talking with SMMC, the program of the bot, and I knew it was going to be trading Bitcoin, for the last 2.5 months, I've only been trading Bitcoin. So I don't need multiple screens. So my entry condition, as you saw, was the 3 screens. And then on my macro Bitcoin, I also do 3 screens, and I do the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. So when I trade, I'm always zoomed in and zoomed out. A lot of people say zoom out or zoom in. I'm always zoomed in or zoomed out. Yeah. So getting back to stop loss, that's basically. So this is the daily chart here. So if you're taking, this trade, depending on your leverage, your margin position, your stop loss would be somewhere around that previous swing low. So that's a swing pattern failure. So this is a swing pattern failure to the downside, and then it pushed back up. So if you're going long here and the price goes below that wick, it would indicate that that's not a swing pattern failure and that's a swing pattern continuation. And at that point, you just completely exit. I wouldn't personally let it go that far, but being the daily, and if you are a swing trader, that's where I would put my stop loss. And also, if I'm taking this trade here and this trend line developing, going long, my stop loss would be at the bottom of that swing pattern failure. And I know it wicks, right? So how many times do you get stopped out here? It goes a couple of dollars below and pushes back up. That's fine, right? How many times does it go below the swing pattern failure and then just keep plummeting? And here's an example just here, right? So if you moved your stop loss here, saying, okay, this is just going to be a wick to liquidate me, right? And you held this trade, and what a lot of people do is, especially on cross margin trades, they add money into their account to keep their trade alive, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't a swing pattern failure. This was a continuation to the downside. So the times when it does wick and then goes up, let it go. It's just a loss. But it's these times when you don't have your stop loss and it does this, that's soul destroying. Not just soul destroying, that's money. So that's why you get your stop loss in and you take the loss. And one of the things I learned from advice, as well as trading myself, is become a good loser. Take the loss, move on.
Yeah, I must admit, I've always been quite bad at sort of at losing, you know, and I've kind of hung on to trades when, you know, I've known damn well that it's going to end in tears, and I've done all the stuff like, you know, adding margin to it, having extra entries lower, and you know, I just haven't been able to admit to myself my entry was shit. You know, I just have to admit it. You know, and then like kind of last week, I don't know. It was because I actually spent some real, like, you know, real money that I'd earned, like £3,000 UK. I spent that on some Bitcoin when it was at 88k, like a week ago. And I bought some Bitcoin, and I was thinking, like, I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave it, and just hodl it, you know. And then when the price went even lower, I thought, no, I really want to trade it. And I did some bloody awful trades, and I lost about half of it, and I thought, what a dickhead, you know. And I and then at that point, you know, I did another trade, and it went wrong again. I thought, oh, God, I've actually lost the plot here. But then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try it again. But if I lose about, you know, if I lose about 5%, I'm going to just cut it and then rethink and all that. And I managed to sort of, because at that point I thought, right, I don't mind if I lose, but I'm not going to lose a lot. And at that point, I managed to get that, what was about $3,500, up to 6,000 within about a week and a half, you know. So and that was by learning to, after all this time, is to learning to lose, but not lose big, you know, and not get liquidated. So yeah, very cool. You still there? Not sure where Imagine.
My internet's doing that weird thing again. Could you put your chart on? We just had New York open.
That's right. So ding that's my chart. Hang on.
There we go. New York open.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. So I haven't got a bell. Right, now I've got a blank screen again. Why is that? That's because
yeah.
Hang on a sec. Oh. Why have I got a blank?
It looks like Lee went off to the pub. Happy trading at the pub, Lee.
I'm just going to add my screen again.
So Vanilla Nikolov sounds Russian. No, the quad rotation is exactly the settings as they are. That's what I'm using.
Right.
Yeah, it was an indicator that was set up using my system, so there is absolutely no reason to change the settings. And then yeah, and as BlockPro said, BlockPro is someone you listen to. Yeah, liquidation should never be a part of any trade. That's why you need your stop loss.
No, I've heard people say, yeah, I was in that trade, but it got to this price and it hit my stop loss, and I was like, where was your stop loss? And they said, well, it wasn't a stop loss; it got liquidated. I was like, man, that isn't your stop loss, you know. Yeah, I mean, I've got that. I mean, I've got that chart. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Hang on. It's I put it on my.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? You know, like so. What was your stop loss? My entire life savings.
Oh. Well, yeah, it happens.
I mean, that's one of the things with cross margin trading. You can wipe out your account on any trade.
I must admit I've never used it because actually the reason I don't use it is because I was talking to a mate of mine who was trading XRP a couple of years ago, and I was in an XRP trade as well, and it was when it shot up from like 40 cents to like 80, and I mean two things that kind of resonated with me was like well, for a start, he was doing it on 10x leverage, and I was like, why are you trading XRP on 10x leverage? And he says, because that's what I always use. And what he meant by that is that's what he uses with Bitcoin. And
Right.
I was like, yeah, if something's going to move from 40 cents to 80 cents, you shouldn't be on 10x leverage, So there was that. And then also I said, well, where's your liquidation point? He said, oh, it's only like 13 cents. And I was thinking, like, how the hell's his liquidation point? 13 cents. And mine was at like 38 or something, And it was only when the price came down and he got liquidated and he lost his entire account, I realized that he was using cross margin.
Oh,
And that's what it was. So ever since that happened, I've thought I've never even gone near it, to be honest. I know like TMG uses cross margin all the time, and has like 200 trades open at the same time. I couldn't do that. I honestly couldn't. What I was going to show briefly, I was talking to Dave the other day on the Stonksy channel about this. So basically, this is a little chart I made the other day when I was talking about, well, I made this video called Get Used to Losing. And basically, if you lose 10%, and you make 10% back, you're not where you were. You're close though. If you lose 10%, you need to make 11% to get back where you were. If you lose 20%, you need to make 25% to get back where you were. Now that to me is the kind of sweet spot, I reckon, because losing 20%, it hurts, but making 25% is quite doable. When you get down to like places that I'm sure other people have been, like when you're 70% underwater and you're thinking about adding margin to your thing, and then you're thinking about using your fiat money to buy crypto so that you can increase your margin there. You're fighting a losing battle at that point because you're 70% down, but you're going to have to make 233% to get back where you were. And at 90%, you need to make 900% to get back where you were. And at 100%, you're broke. So, so that's a handy little table I made for myself that I keep looking at that, thinking like, yeah, that's why I need to be good at losing, in these top two rows here, like no more than 20%, because I can.
You know what? You could so that do those numbers represent the trade or the account?
That's the account. So yeah.
Yeah. So you could probably take add a couple of rows at the top to 5%, 3%, 1%.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because if you can get yourself into a position where you refuse to lose more than 1%, you can lose 100 trades in a row.
Right.
Yeah. I think something like that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's very cool. Okay.
Are you not really going to lose 100 trades in a row? No. You can lose. I mean, every trade is 50-50, right? So you just say you lose 5 in a row, that next trade, and as long as you're a good strategic trader, most of the time, if you have a firm conviction and your critical analysis says that the price is going up, it is going to go up. Those trades that you enter that stop you out, you lose 0.5%, 1%, everything like that. When you actually get the entry that goes in your direction, those 6 or 7 losses will be not just wiped out, but you eventually catch the trade and you're in huge profit.
Yeah.
I preach stop loss simply because I've lost so much money.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. Quite a lot of people ask me about adding money to a trade once you're in a winning trade. What are your thoughts about that? Did you get that?
I apologize. My connection is done. No, my connection just did that.
Okay. So it's going back to your old...
So Paul Kovsky just asked, what would you say is the best strategy? Lots of scalp trades or long trades? I think long trades, you mean day trades or swing trades. You can do multiple strategies. You can do scalp trading, you can do swing trading, you can do day trading. But
oh, I think you've gone again, mate.
Yeah.
I think we lost you slightly at the end there. You just said you can do day trading, and then you turned into a Dalek. Oh, I think you've gone.
Okay, so it looks like we're pushing back up again, but I might have to sign out here because
Me too.
my end is doing the same thing again, and it's frustrating for me. So
Okay.
I might sign out here, and I really love this opportunity to spend some time with you. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
And I'd love to do it again. Would you have me on again?
Absolutely, 100%. I really would. No, it's been fantastic. Actually, you're very knowledgeable, got lots of experience, and it's fantastic. And thank you so much for coming along. And yeah, we can make it a regular thing if you like, because I want to start doing regular live streams, and it'd be great to have guests as well, because it's fun when you can talk to someone. Otherwise it gets a bit lonely just talking to yourself. So can everybody go over to let me just find the URL to, where's it gone? Hang on, this one here. So it's on the screen now. Can everyone go over to the Imagine Project's YouTube channel and subscribe to him?
Yeah, and just
go ahead.
And and a quick shout out to Dave as well. Like I admire his tenacity, and he just keeps going. Yeah, so Dave, if you stumble across your stream and you watch it, thank you for doing what you do, and the CSC team, fantastic. Keep going. Thank you, and I'm going to sign off. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Okay. Right, so that was the Imagine project, and yeah, what a guy! Brilliant, excellent, loved that. That was the first ever collaboration live stream I've ever done, so I think that got off to a pretty good start, even though the Imagine project was suffering a little bit from his internet connection. I'd love to find out more about how his quad rotation indicator works, so I'd love to have him back on the stream and talk about that as well. And it was really cool to know about his background, in forex and that kind of stuff, and that was brilliant. I'm going to sign off myself because I need to go and get my daughter from school. So just want to say thank you very, very much for everyone for coming along. Be careful trading today. I think we're going to see a lot of up and a lot of down. What order, I don't know, but thank you for your comments. Let me see if I can do a quick reverse roll call. But yeah, thank you, Scott, Paul Kofsky, Venelin, Lee, 1984, Scholze. Who else we got? We got Mike Munns. I think I said him already, haven't I? KB, Lee Scully, keep saying him. James Sudworth, of course. Lee Isherwood. James again. Fly and Ryan too. CD Cherry Tree, he's gone now, but yeah, the Imagine Project himself, who of course was amazing. King Andino 94. Brilliant. So thank you to everyone who came along. Looks like Bitcoin's going to go up for a few minutes, but let's see what happens later. I'll probably be over on like Tom Crown's live stream. Probably watch him and watch the action unfold there. I can't thank you enough, but thank you for everyone who came. Do like the stream on your way out, and yeah, take care, and above all, see how your friends.